I'd like to demonstrate how to make a wire wrap clasp that I think is very effective for use on wire link jewelry necklaces. And this is the clasp that I'm about to demonstrate. It consists of a hook that is inserted into a link that I call the figure 8 link. And what I have done here is I've attached 3 figure 8 links to the end of this necklace and 2 figure 8 links to the other end, and to that link, the last figure 8 link, I've added the hook. And the hook hooks into the figure 8. Lock it in place. Beautiful. For the purpose of this video, I'm going to use a necklace that I just finished. I call this the spiral hoop necklace because the link is a combination of a hoop and a spiral with beads added. And to this, we'll add our clasps. To construct the wire wrap hook and eye clasp, we need the following tools: side cutters to cut our wire, our round nose pliers to form the figure 8 link, the hook part of the clasp, and the top loop that joins the hook to a figure 8 link. And of course, our most basic of all our pliers, we need to use the flat nose pliers or needle nose pliers. The first thing I need to do is form my figure 8. Use an 18 gauge nickel silver wire. I'll use my round nose pliers to form the basic figure 8. Something that you've seen me do in my video, how to create the figure 8 link necklace. Establish my first part of the loop. Position my plier on the other side and create the other loop. The thing that I always point out in the fabrication of figure 8 links is that one leg of the wire falls on one side, the link is in the middle, and the other leg shoots out on the opposite side. To complete this link, first I need to attach it to my necklace. Having inserted the short leg into the link on the necklace, I hold down the short leg tightly against its adjacent loop, and I turn the wire like so. Now, I mentioned I'm using 18 gauge for this clasp. It's a nice heavy wire. If you prefer, you could use 20 gauge. It's slightly lighter and a bit easier to work with. Trim off the excess right about there. See where I position those pliers? Smack in the middle of that link. Having trimmed off the excess wire, I use my flat nose pliers to squeeze the trimmed length in a bit and then push it with the tip of my plier into the center of the link, sort of hiding it. The result is a nice finished look to the surface without any wire ends sticking out. I still need to trim off this length, so I'll pull it away from the wall of the link grab my cutters, press it as close as I can to the figure 8 link, and cut off that length. Now, keep in mind, to do this, I'm wearing my goggles. I hold the wire that I cut so it doesn't fly out and hit somebody sitting next to me. A final thing that I like to do is to use a needle file, a jewelry needle file, flat on one side, to file off any remaining wire that might protrude beyond the coil that I've made to create this figure 8 link. So I'm going to work that a bit. The beauty of your jewelry is in its fine craftsmanship. So I always take extra care to make everything as good as I can. The completed link attached to the necklace. What I need to do now is add a figure 8 link to this end of the necklace. And see, this is what I mean by completing the visual statement. The visual statement is your necklace and your unique link that creates the necklace. But I always like to have a contrasting link to definitively end the piece. And that's why I use the figure 8 link. Having cut a length of 18 gauge wire, at least 6 inches long, which is long enough to work with, I grab its tip, bend it like so, and then crimp it. Next, using my round nose pliers, I position the wire with the crimped tip at the wide part of my pliers, and I introduce a bend like this. See how I did that? To finish the hook, I bend my wire out at a 45-degree angle. I position that 45-degree bend at the tip of my round nose plier, and I continue to bend the wire up and around the tip of the plier, like you see me doing. Now, this part ensures the hook is not going to fall off your jewelry piece. What I will do is take that long end, insert it onto the figure 8, like so. Then, using my flat nose pliers, firmly grab the loop that's attached to the figure 8 and carefully wrap the long length of wire around the hook. And I like to achieve 3 wraps around before I trim off the excess. Please notice this. I have quite a bit of waste here. Why so long? Well, you need a relatively long length of wire in order to make the wraparound. If it was a short length of wire, you would never be able to wrap it with your fingers like you just saw me do. So, certain amount of waste is unavoidable to form this hook. I need to trim off the excess. I'll use my side cutters pressed tightly up against the link, and I cut the wire away. Even though this is nickel silver, I'm not going to discard this. I have a collection box to save all lengths like this because this may be just what I need for something else. Notice when I trim off that excess length of wire, there's always a little piece of wire sticking up. See that? That can be nasty. So what needs to be done is you take your pliers and you crimp it down until everything is nice and round. Yeah. Okay. The finished hook. There we have our basic hook and eye clasp. I hope you find this video helpful. Thanks for watching.